and I'm going to answer that question. So this is a perfect opportunity. I'll quickly restart because now the recording started. So Manjit's question is, what type of offline businesses do I personally target and what services do I offer them? And my answer is, I don't target local businesses in the traditional sense, like the lawyers and the dentists and the butchers, etc., because A, they're not interested in marketing, at least here in Germany. That is a big, thing. For me, locally, people are not interested in local marketing. There's a really bizarre thing going on, in the sense that when I go through various businesses, they outwardly don't want to do any advertising that stands out, because they fear that they're basically going to be sort of pariahs. They're going to be expelled from the local community. So they all suffer together and all kind of accept it as their given lot. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll all suffer together. But I don't want to stand out as someone who actually goes out and actively does some marketing. And this may sound a little bit bizarre, but it's one of those strange things. And I've talked to a couple of business owners who then went out and basically started doing proper promotions, and they really were kind of booted out. They were suddenly shown the cold shoulder by everyone else, and as a result, no one dares stand out. So that's what I don't do then. So what do? I go for medium-sized businesses. So when you look at SME, small, medium-sized enterprises, I go for the M part. So I go for, there's, for example, a company, they do, when I say medium, it's a multi-million-dollar company. They do software for hospitals, and they are in the top 3 in Germany. Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So they're the ones I work with, and as you can see there, then the types of services are very different from the ones you'd offer to a local business. They are not interested in the specific small services like, set me up some mobile marketing type thing, because really that's not what they're doing. They're getting most of their clients through referrals and trade shows, that kind of stuff. So they're more interested in overall strategies. How can I, for example, do social media? And in that, using that as a specific example, they go sort of 2-step. They basically have their, now trying to translate that into English, the MTR, basically the mostly ladies who work in the hospital labs. They operate machinery. They're sort of in between the doctor and the lab. They're the ones. Then the marketing department of this particular company interfaces with. They invite them out for some specials at a trade show and kind of thing. So they get very excited. And although they don't have any decision-making capability, they are the ones who've heard of that company. So when the question goes around, which system do we want to go for, they are basically first of mind. So Russ tells me he is ready. And Gordon tells me there are no presentation slides. That is exactly right, because now Russ is ready. And all I need to do is find Russ, there he is, and make him king of the castle. So first of all, Russ, I have unmuted you.
Hey.
And I somehow need to make you make presenter.
Yeah.
Make presenter.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, everybody.
There you go. I'm no longer presenter. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Hold on. Which screen? Because I have dual monitors. So hold on. Let me make sure I choose the correct screen.
But at the moment, all I can see is the default screen, get $1,500 setup fee plus $197 a month recurring reputation management clients from FB.
Oh, yep. That is it. It should say simple Facebook lead system. Let's make sure.
This looks much better. That looks actually pretty cool.
You like that background? I made that myself. It's a chalkboard.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I taught myself how to do that. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody who has taken their time out on Saturday to come and be with Veit and I on this webinar. And I'm going to show you how I'm using Facebook to get reputation management clients online. I use 4 simple tools to get these clients. Now, I'm a retired roofer, so I concentrate on the roofing niche, which is, that's pretty logical and would be an obvious choice for me. But
well, it's not only that. One of the reasons I've told everyone, I'm like a cheerleader here. I've told everyone on my list, look, you need to go and check this out. And one of the reasons is, well, the first reason was that basically, as remember first time we talked, and everything you said was the number one top priority is that you do something good or make sure nothing bad ever happens to your offline clients. That was, when you said that, I thought, brilliant. This is exactly what we're looking for. So number one, Russ does look out for his clients. They're true clients in the traditional sense. In the Latin, when you look at the Latin definition of client, it's basically someone under your protection. And that is the number one thing for me, and it's the biggest thing for Russ. So super cool. But also, and this is what got me really excited, is that you're an ex-roofer. You've actually had a business, and I think that is one of the biggest stumbling blocks, or one of the biggest differences between someone who might be struggling online and someone who's just gone out and done it. Because when you get online, you face these big hurdles. Well, this whole marketing thing, the whole selling thing, and it's like, ooh, and running my own business. So you've got a very unique perspective there. That's why I'm going to pick your brains today. And anyone who has questions, take this opportunity and go and ask questions, because here's a guy who's going to run his own business and now does this offline thing. So off you go.
Okay, so great. And I just want to point out that the fact that I've had my own several storefront retail stores, it sets me apart from other vendors that sell services to people that do offline as well, because a lot of those people came from jobs or careers into making money online, never really owned a real storefront business before. So I have a unique perspective into the mind of our potential clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. So who am I? Well, first of all, I am a U.S. Army veteran. I served our country for 8 years. I've owned 2 successful roofing companies. I've also owned a bridal gown retail store, and I'll tell you, that was fun. I also owned a Japanese restaurant. Actually, we bought the Japanese restaurant with the mindset to flip it. So we owned it for about 6 to 8 months and flipped it and made about $25,000 profit on the sale of it versus what we paid for it. And then that's what we used to seed the bridal store.
Very cool.
Okay. So since owning my own retail businesses, which I retired from in 2009, I've created a very popular software for my peers called Cheapy Scraper. It's a software program for Google Places, SEO. That was back in 2011. I'm also the author of the Google Local Plus Zen Master SEO course, which is the only SEO course that I know of. You actually just recently introduced that to your list, I believe,
I did indeed.
Your users. And I just authored a book called The Small Business Owner's Guide to Landing Page Optimization, and I'm getting ready to actually publish that on Amazon. That'll be my first book. Woohoo! And of course, I'm an owner of a company called Local Reach Labs, which is an SEO and marketing agency. So I've been in business for myself for 20 plus years, and then just really started doing the online thing since 2009 for making money. Now, when I had my last roofing company, I registered my domain name back in 2003. Didn't know anything about, how to even make I taught myself how to design a website, learned all about autoresponders, how to get leads, how to rank. I did all that stuff on my own. So I'm not new to the online. I'm just didn't start making money through the quote-unquote internet marketing online type lifestyle until 2009.
Before we go on, quick question to everyone on the call. Do you have Google Plus Zen Master or Google Local Plus Zen Master?
Yeah.
No. I know you do, but everyone else. If you're going to quickly type in no, Larry says no. Right? Nope. Okay. Too many no's. It's definitely worth checking out. I'm just going to be, your cheerleader here.
Thank you.
the SEO module in there, that one thing you showed me, that in itself was just pure brilliance. Okay, so Russ and I were talking, and it was all about I know Russ is big time, or you are big time onto reputation management, which, like I said, is not a huge thing for me over here because people just don't get it. However, SEO is something where you can play the vanity angle. Now, when we were talking about it, we all here on this call know that SEO basically is pretty hard to do in a white hat way, because fundamentally SEO is all about finding traffic sources where real people come to your website, and as a side effect you have a link. That's really proper white hat SEO. Ideally they set those links manually, and all that other stuff where you find links on blog posts and that kind of stuff, that's basically spammy black hat stuff, and you might get away for a little while, but at some point Google is going to slap you. So Russ and I were talking, long story short, and he showed me not only the exact places for getting links that actually do it in a white hat style, but also use that as a true marketing vehicle for getting people to your website, to get them excited about events and all kinds of stuff. And before you introduced them, you said this is why it's so important, because I really cannot afford to get my client's website slapped. So that kind of goes full circle what I said in the beginning.
Yeah.
For that module alone, it's worth getting the Google Local Plus Zenmaster.
Yeah.
And it is current, Manjit, isn't it? Oh, Russ, Manjit asked, is it current? It is.
It's current. It's current, and the core method is actually. Well, do you remember I showed you the test listing that I created?
Yeah.
This was way back in the day when you could actually, get phone verification and have a fake Google Places listing set up in minutes. You can't do that anymore because now they Google Places. It was Google Places back then. Now it's Google Plus. You can't create fake listings really anymore because you have to do postcard verification. But you remember I showed you that listing that I created back in 2011?
Yep.
It's still ranking today. I have not touched it. I have not added any content to the website. I haven't done anything to it for like 3 years.
Nice.
So anyway, let's get to the reason why we're here. So the next slide is about me, and you know what? I didn't finish this slide because I got so into redoing my PowerPoint because I just made this background. I forgot to come back and put the about me in here. So there's just a couple things. You already kind of know. Well, I started my selling career when I was a Boy Scout at the age of 12. This is like one of my most favorite stories to tell about myself is I grew up in Wyoming, which is pretty much, the wilderness. Wyoming is still like 20 years behind, right? So I was in Boy Scouts, and every year they did a backpack trip over the Continental Divide in the United States. So we would go from the eastern side of the Rocky Mountains over to the western side. So we would cross the Continental Divide. It was an 18-day backpack trip, 50 miles. Well, my dad was a life insurance salesman, and he was tutored by W. Clement Stone, which is a major, he's like a Zig Ziglar of sales, right? And he told me, he said, you know what, you got to go out and earn, money to go towards this if you want to go on this backpack trip. So the Boy Scouts, we used to have this little miniature first aid kit that you put in your car that we would sell for fundraising, right?
Yep.
So I went door to door, right, with my box of first aid kits, and I would knock on their door. Hi, my name is Russell. I'm with the Lander Boy Scouts troop, and I want to go on the blah, blah, blah. And my dad told me that I could go, but I gotta raise some of my own money. I think he told me I had to raise like the money for my backpack, because I had to buy all the gear. I had to buy the backpack. I had to buy really special hiking boots. It was quite expensive, even in the 70s. And he said if I would raise enough money for that, that he'd pay for the food and give me the fishing pole and pay for the clothes. And so it was kind of like a joint venture with my dad. That was my first joint venture. Well, I went door to door, and I got the money. And I ended up going on the backpack trip. And then the very next year, we went on another backpack trip through Yellowstone National Park, which was another 50-mile backpack trip. And I didn't sell first aid kits then, as I kind of took a step up. And here's what I did. I knocked on people's doors and said, I will do handyman work for you for X dollars per hour and what I earn I'm going to put towards going on my backpack trip this year with the Boy Scouts. And I got a lot of work and actually paid for almost all my backpack trip by my second year. So I was hooked on sales ever since. I've been a salesman ever since. So my teen years, my teen years.
So the sales technique you're going to show us today is basically knocking on people's doors and say, look, I'm going on a backpack trip and I'll do some SEO for you.
Yeah, I'm in a contest. Please help me win. No. So my teen years were the typical, chase the girls and skip the school. And then I went straight from school because I was kind of a troublemaker when I was a kid. My mom said, you need to go into the Army or I'm kicking you out. So I went into the Army, and I actually loved the Army. I was in the Army for 8 years as a combat medic, a licensed practical nurse, a urology technician, and an OR technician. So I have quite an extensive medical background. But then when I got out of the military, I came back to Denver, where I'm from, and I'm looking for jobs. And my first job I got is like a telemarketer. And within a month, I was in the first chair, had the most sales. The second month, I got promoted to, the room manager. And my boss calls me and says, we're expanding from the 10 chairs that we have. We're moving to an office next month. There's going to be like 36 chairs. You have 1 month to fill those chairs. I'm promoting you to manager. I was like, wow. So we got moved in. I had to learn how to write ads. I had so many people coming in. I was scheduling them 30 minutes apart to interview them for telemarketing positions. And I had like this, I remember, I'll never forget, I had this huge big round monster red marker and monster black marker, right? And so I would just interview. I would never make a decision on the spot. I would just interview everybody. And the ones that I decided that I wanted to hire, I would use the red marker and make it look like there was things wrong on their on their application. And the people that I didn't want to hire, I would do in black. And so I filled the chair, and we made a lot of money. And then for some reason, the owner did some stupid stuff and some legal changes. This was the get loans, guaranteed loans market. So a credit repair market, that's what it was. So we were helping people repair their credit, and then they changed the law, and that kind of like just blew everything up, and I was looking for a job. And so that's when I got into roofing and did insurance restoration and became the top of my industry in sales. I'm actually one of the best salesmen in the industry nationwide for insurance restoration. And from there, I've owned a roofing company, and then went into Japanese restaurant, went into the bridal gown store, and then my last one, I went back into my roofing. So hold on a second here. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So that's me. All right. Enough about me. Let's show you what this is about. All right. So why reputation management? Okay. Well, reputation matters because every business owner, for as long as they operate their business, it's going to be something that they have to have a vested interest in. Okay, the internet magnifies whatever reputation they particularly have, good or bad. Even one voice can be heard by thousands of people nowadays. Offering reputation management also gives you and me a unique positioning, other than, because businesses are getting inundated every day about SEO and web design, and so it's a different positioning tool. So I come in with a little bit different perspective. It's easier to get their attention, and it's easier to be heard when you're not making the same marketing noise as everyone else, because everyone is pitching SEO. Many businesses are really worried about getting an online presence out of fear, and the fear is the lack of their control over their reputation. And that's fears from, they know that one review can be heard by many people. So a lot of businesses are kind of worried about that. All right, so how to get the most value? Like Veit said before, please eliminate any distractions, get a pen and paper and take notes, and any questions that you have, please note them down, and at the end we'll answer them for you. All right.
Russ, give me 1 second here. I'm
Sure.
just out of curiosity, on the call, what is the number one thing you are using for approaching prospects at the moment? Are you using rep management?
Facebook.
Are you, no. Everyone
Oh,
else. What is the leading foot? What's your service? The thing you use to get out there? Is it is it SEO? Is it rep management?
It's rep management.
Yeah, for you I know, but everyone on the call, if you just
SEO.
type in the box now, what is it you're using?
What is it I'm using, or
No.
everybody else?
What everyone on the call is using. I'm just interested in, what are people using? Is it SEO? Is it rep management?
Oh, you're asking everybody that's on
Yeah,
here. Okay.
exactly. Web design, I've got here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Probably mostly his answer is going to be SEO and web design.
Well, I've got a nice mix here: web design, social media management, SEO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good mix.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
so I pretty much lead with, I lead with reputation management. Okay, so what is a successful online reputation? If I can get my slide to go here. All right, well, a successful online reputation is positive reviews, obviously. They need to originate from many different sources like Yelp, Google, Insider Pages, Manta, Judy's Book, all the major direct review sites. Here's an important one. You have to respond correctly to any negative reviews, and you have to have a system that lets you reclaim your past customers. This is what makes a successful online reputation. So we're going to go through a couple statistic slides here, all of which you guys will have access to later on, just to kind of show you the importance, the true importance of online reputations. Sharing customer service stories. A percentage among respondents who had experienced good or bad customer service indicated who they told. Okay, so this relates to a less than desirable experience with a business, whether it be a bridal store, a restaurant, roofing company, it doesn't matter. 81% told family and friends. Okay, bad. The dark blue is bad, the green is good. Coworkers in person, 50%. Online friends, 40%. That's like social media. The company that provided the service, only 43% actually went and told the actual company. And that's a symptom of a problem that I solve in online review sites. Okay, so 35% of people that have a less than desirable experience will go and leave a bad review online. Only 20% will leave a review online if they had a good experience. So those are pretty telling stats.
Well, think about it. Sitting in a restaurant, this always baffles me. Okay, I can tell you, I'm German. I have a genetic abnormality when it comes to being tactful. When I'm in a restaurant and it was shit, there's no other word for it. It was rubbish service. The food was crap. Whatever. I will tell them. And I will reflect that in basically not giving a tip. And everyone else going around me goes, no, don't tell them. It's just rude. Come on, give them a tip anyway. And I'm going, well, hang on. You're not helping anyone. I'm not being rude here. Well, at least that's my perspective. But it's not meant to be rude. I'm just saying that this was an awful experience. And now if you're a good business owner, you'll do something about it rather than going away. So, but my experience is that basically, of all the people I know, even in Germany, where we are extremely, straight to the point and forthcoming with our opinion, most people will not say anything. They'll sit there, have an awful experience, and then go away, mutter, and even give a normal tip. And you think, well, as a business owner, it's extremely hard to figure out, if someone really had a good experience or not. So anyway, back to you.
Okay, so consumers purchase influencers when shopping online. Okay, percentage of respondents indicating which of the following has influence on their purchasing decisions. Okay, so the number one is deal, discount, or sale. That's 56%. Right under that at 51% is reviews, ratings, or opinions of customers who have already bought the product or used the service or went to the restaurant or wherever. Where do they find those? On sites like Yelp and Google+, all the directory sites, all the review sites, okay? That's where they find
What I find funny
information.
about this, and I do apologize, the more I talk, the longer this will go on, but whenever I'm in the sauna, I close my eyes and just let the various conversations drift over me and listen with interest or amusement. And it turns out, when you look sort of at the cross-section of the population, most people are concerned with cheap mobile phone tariffs, puberty of their teenage children, and where you get the biggest portions in restaurants. So they define a good restaurant as one that serves a big portion. And I was just looking at this here. Number one is, where can I get a deal? For crying out loud. I mean, I do instantly recognize this. This to me is the reflection of basically sitting in the sauna. Number one, the most important thing is it must be a discount or deal or sale or something good. That gets me most excited. And only then do I worry if it's actually good. Interesting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, look at this one here. 22% of people only trust the comments, reviews, opinions from peers on social media, and only 26 trust reviews or ratings by journalists. Isn't that pretty telling? That means they must think that the journalists are getting paid for their reviews. All right, so let's go move on to the next slide. All right, consumer attitudes to online local business reviews. 85% say they read online reviews to determine whether a local business is a good business. Okay, so that means that whatever reputation they have online, that is the perception that the person investigating or researching on the company gets. That is what the reality is. Okay, the perception is the reality. 1 in 6 people read reviews. 67% read 1 to 6 reviews before formulating their opinion about a business. 73% say positive customer reviews make them trust a business more, and 65% are more likely to use a business that has positive reviews, and 79% trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations, and 71% believe reliability is the most important trait in a local business.
Really?
This is
Reliability.
Yep, reliability. June 2013, guys. These are not old stats. These are new stats. Okay.
Hey, Russ, just as a side note here, when I started looking at rep management over here in Germany, one of the biggest problems was basically fake reviews. I mean, you could immediately see that all these Google Plus reviews, or Google Local, most of them were like definitely made by friends or even by themselves. Is that sorted now? Is that is there technology in place to weed out fake reviews?
Yes and no. It will probably. It's developing.
Okay.
It's developing, but not completely. So that is that is a problem. Okay. So the next stat is purchase influence of online product reviews in the United States. So if you look at, I'm not going to go over every one of these, but
oh, go on. We want you to read everything.
The dark blue and the green are pretty much agree very much or agree somewhat. So you can see that fills like 3/4 to 80% of the responses.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is percentage of Americans who agree or disagree that online reviews help them decide whether or not to buy. And they just break it down here. This is a real broken down chart. This was done just less than a year ago, December 2012. But you can see that in the agree very much and agree somewhat columns, it's pretty much everything. Okay. So
especially look at that, the top one, under 35. The younger generations, the smartphone generation, they are
the millennials.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very interesting.
Yep. Okay, so online reviews and product suggestions. Now this I found was really interesting, is the percentage of starred product reviews that contained suggestions, okay? And look at this one. I would consider, a 4 and a 5-star review fairly good. However, they still include suggestions to improve the business. In other words, these people are writing reviews with the intent to give them, even though they had a good experience, They're writing reviews with the intention to, leave suggested feedback or changes.
Cool.
Okay, main reasons for writing reviews, okay, to help other consumers make good decisions, 70%, okay, very important. To share the experiences, very important, 62%. Because you rely on consumer reviews and posting reviews yourself as a way of giving back, half the people. To reward a company that has done right by you, 50% or more. So you can see there's actually a lot of good reasons why people leave feedback, because giving feedback is the best way to get companies to listen to what they have to say. This is a symptom of a major problem, this particular one right here, which is the problem that I fixed. Okay, to help retailers make better decisions on what products they sell, this is also a problem, and that's the reason why this is in here. And then, 13% do it because it's fun. All right, so what's next? Branded connected customers and social feedback. This is the percentage of customers that are brand connected. In other words, they like your company. They're like a fan of your company. And I thought that this was really interesting. This is the percentage that feel it's important that they get that their feedback is acknowledged. Okay, like on their fan page, branded social network pages, 80%. So if your client has a Facebook page, or like whoever it was on the call that said, hey, I'm doing social media marketing and brand, for my customer, then this should be something that you should be knowing, is that anybody that posts on your client's fan page, 80% of them expect that feedback is acknowledged. In other words, the post doesn't go without a reply, or it doesn't simply get deleted if it's not, maybe the best feedback or whatever. Okay, this is the percentage.
Let me just quickly give a hint there, or a tip. Anyone who's doing, for example, someone earlier said, I want to get into social media management. Whether it's social media management, whether you're doing reputation management, etc., wherever you are responding to a person, or where someone goes out and makes the effort to give you feedback, it is super, super important to address that thing individually. The worst thing you can say or do is go out and say, look, 80% of all people said they wanted bigger portions, and thank you for everyone who responded. Because some people might say, I want a bigger portion but more of the vegetables and less of the meat. And so there are plenty of psychological studies. If you make the effort to go out and address that individually and say, you over there who wanted the bigger portion but with more vegetables as opposed to more meat, thank you for that feedback. It makes a tremendous difference. I mean, they instantly feel like they're being really taken seriously. They're part of something, as opposed to being chucked in a big bucket and just being one of the big masses. Huge difference in terms of bonding with the company.
Absolutely, because customers are looking for an experience now. Okay, they're not just looking to go and do business and exchange money for something. They want an experience. So, and that creates an experience for them. All right, so so you can see here the interaction is very important to people. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Now, I know parts of this you're going to get a bonus in today's webinar. So I'm going to teach you some stuff about reputation management instead of just going straight to, here's how I get sales. I'm going to teach you some stuff here, guys. So this is a little extra that Veit probably didn't tell you about. All right, so questionable tactics. Let me get my laser pointer going here. Where's my laser pointer not working now? Yay, laser pointer. Okay, so questionable tactics. There are a lot of reputation management practices being taught today that put you and your clients at risk, legal risk, okay? But don't worry, I got you covered. So let's go to the next slide. The legal jurisdiction, okay? Why is there a legal risk? Well, because there is a legal jurisdiction, okay? In the United States, the Federal Trade Commission, and in the EU, the regulatory body in the EU has jurisdiction over what's a term called astroturfing as a part of their charter to regulate what's called unfair or deceptive acts or practices in or affecting commerce. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, what is astroturfing, and why does reputation management fall under the jurisdiction? Why is there potential legal risk? Well, I'm gonna show you now. Okay, astroturfing it occurs when an organization or an individual presents information or opinions. Okay, an opinion is a review or a testimonial on a subject. The subject could be a business, without disclosing that they have been reimbursed for their statements in an intentional effort to give the appearance of an organic source. Okay, in other words, it's if you on behalf of your client create an online profile, let's say on Yelp, to post a review from a customer that submitted a review to your client, that's astroturfing, because really what's supposed to happen there is your client's customer should be the one creating that account, and it should be your client's customer who posts his own review. The second you create an account, what I call by proxy, in other words, for the customer's client, for your client's customer, you are creating a fake account, number one, and then the second you take the customer's review that they gave to your client and you post that, you've just posted a fake review because you're not the person that actually wrote the review. And there's a material connection because you're getting paid from your client to do that. So that's where you have the legal risk.
Ross, let me just quickly jump in then and give you the German perspective. Okay, I went to a talk on exactly this thing, and it was using whatever it is you're doing in your marketing and your advertising in order to attract clients. And basically, high level, if you're doing something, if you're doing anything, whether it's on your website, whether it's in your marketing message, whether it's using reviews, if you're doing something that will potentially give you an advantage, an unfair advantage over the competition by doing something that isn't real. So, you're doing a bait and switch offer, for example, or you're doing false scarcity in the sense of, we're doing a sale and it finishes here, or if you're doing anything like that, anything where you have a slight advantage, where basically the perspective is if the customer has two offers and they're identical in every single sense, but there is one difference, and that one difference might be an extra star in the reviews, and they, as a result of that, choose to work with you, you can get sued. But not only do you get sued and then possibly take it to court, if that is the case, if you organize a review, and this is now the deciding factor, or one could imagine it's a deciding factor, any lawyer in the country can send you a letter and basically, I don't know what the English word is for it, but they basically sue you in a sense. They basically send you a bill for a couple of €1,000 and say you're doing this false statement job here, and you now have to pay this thing, and you have no way out of it. And that appears in different ways at least in Europe. I know that, but I don't know if it's the same thing in the US. But over here, just always put yourself in the position of a client, and if they have, or an end customer, if they have the choice between two identical offers, and they now go with your client because they've got that extra star, that extra review, and it's a fake one, you can get sued by any lawyer in the country. They just send you a letter, and it's not even sued. You don't go to court. You just pay the darn thing, and there's no way out of it. So very, very important to make sure you do this the right way.
Yep. So what happens when when you break the rules with shady practices? Well, you can end up in hot water, and I'm going to show you right now. Right, so I'm not sure if you know about a service called Glowing Reviews.
I know about a couple of them, and I was more than uneasy when I first heard about them, and when I heard that they're starting to get sued, I thought, yes, rightly so.
Okay, so this is, if you look at this, this is webarchive.org, because this site is actually no longer online. Okay, last year this service popped up allowing users to create fake accounts on all these sites that you see down here, Google, Yelp, City Search, Insider Pages, Foursquare, Local, and a whole host of other sites as well. Okay, so what's the problem here? Well, number one, it breaks the terms of service of all these sites. Okay, it facilitates posting reviews by someone else instead of the actual customer. This is illegal without disclosure. Okay, it's not illegal to post a review on someone's behalf as long as you disclose it. However, these sites don't allow that. Okay, and it does not disclose any material connection. Okay, because if I'm a SEO firm and I'm using this service, okay, I'm charging my client to post these reviews, so that's the material connection. Okay, and you have to disclose when there's a material connection. So let me prove to you that I'm just not blowing smoke. Okay, just recently caught August 22nd, last month, Denver CBS 4 News. You can probably search this title right on Google and find it. Okay, this customer, here's what happened, right? This is actually a roofing company, believe it or not. One of this roofing company's customers actually one day just decided to Google his name. Guess what he found? He found a Google Plus profile that he did not create. He found his Google Plus profile in his name, but he didn't create it. It was created on his behalf without his knowledge, without his consent. And then there was a review posted to the roofing company's Google Plus profile that he had, and he actually mailed it in, or I think it was mailed or emailed or whatever. And the roofing company, without his consent, had it put online. Who did it? The SEO company. So the SEO company created the Google Plus profile for the customer and posted the customer's review. If you find this article, I didn't take a screenshot of it. This is an excerpt. The Colorado Attorney General said it was false advertising and violated the Colorado Consumer Protection Act. This type of behavior. Okay. Here's another one. This was last year. Okay, this made the news too. Woman paid to post 5-star Google feedback. This article was on thedenverchannel.com. So what happened here? The reputation. Here's what happens, right? The reputation management industry is set to top several billion in spending by small businesses in 2014. So where there's an opportunity, there's always those who are willing to engage in questionably legal practices to make money. Okay, so this is a prime example of astroturfing. This woman actually admitted to creating fake accounts and posting fake reviews that she got paid for.
Russ,
Okay.
I've just posted the link in the chat box. Everyone have a look in the chat box. There's a link to the previous article.
Okay, thank you. So this is why I'm teaching you guys this, because you need to know not to get caught up in this kind of stuff that puts you and your business, and your client's business at legal risk, so that you're not doing anything that harms them and yourself, because you can also, your client can get sued, and then who's going to turn around and sue you? Your client's going to sue you because they trusted you to do things right for them. So this is part of a bigger overall problem, though. This is why this kind of stuff creeps up and is being done. Okay, and I solved that problem. I'm going to show you that problem in just a few minutes. So setting up profiles to post reviews really is bad. Yes, it really is bad. Okay, all the major business listing and review sites do not allow what's called astroturfing, and it's all in their terms of services. So don't be fooled. It's there for their own legal protection. I'm going to show you just real briefly a couple just to prove it to you. Here's the terms of service for Yelp. Okay, I just excerpted the portion that applies. Okay, user accounts. You may not impersonate anybody else. Adopt the identity of a celebrity or even your next door neighbor. Okay, because it's against the law to do that. Okay, create or use an account for anyone other than yourself. Okay? So if we go back to the Denver Roofing Company that had that profile set up in a customer's name, that would have broken Yelp's terms of service. Okay? What's the next one we have here? Yellow Pages. I include the URLs in all these screenshot guides just to show you that, you know, this is for real. Okay? User-generated content terms. Reviews submitted by reviewed business owners, employees, past or present agents, affiliates, and or competitors. Okay, that's this section. Reviews that appear to be not based on personal knowledge or experience. Okay, so if I take a review that somebody submits to a business and post that on yp.com, I've broken terms of service because I'm not personally knowledgeable or didn't personally have that experience. And then you cannot impersonate, disguise, or conceal your identity of any person or any otherwise misrepresent a user's affiliation with an entity. Okay, so all this stuff is in all these sites' terms of services. Impersonate any person or entity, misrepresent your affiliation with the person or entity, or use a false identity. If you create an account for somebody other than your own, that's creating a false identity. Okay? Insider pages. In submitting your content to us, you represent that you are the sole author of the content. So right there, if you post somebody's review, you're breaking their terms of service. Restriction of use. You may not impersonate any person or entity. Okay? So you cannot create an account for anybody other than yourself. Okay, so if you create an account for John Doe, who is your client's customer, and post John Doe's review, you've broken their terms of service. Okay.
Russ, just very quickly, that's exactly what Larry is just asking. Larry's saying, so we cannot collect testimonials and then post them for our client.
Not on these sites. You can post them on your client's site, but you also have to disclose that they were posted on behalf. You cannot represent that unless the actual customer goes and leaves the review. You're cool, right? But if you post the review to your client site, like on a review page, let's say you collect the reviews, they're mailed in by mail or they're sent in by email, and you copy those reviews and you post them on the review page for your client, or even if your client does it, he just has to have a disclosure on the bottom of the page that says some reviews may be posted on behalf or with permission. But none of these sites allow you to do that. Okay, you can't go and post a review on there and then put a disclaimer down at the bottom of the review. This was posted on behalf, because they'll just figure it out, they'll see it, and they'll just ban the account because they don't allow that.
Hey Ross, just as a little bit of feedback, this part alone is just totally worth being here today, because every single other rep management course out there is exactly what you say. It's like, collect the stuff, post it, and boom, Bob's your uncle. And if you don't know this stuff is illegal, you might go out and do it, and then one day you wake up and you have got a very, very angry business owner on the other end because they got a letter from a lawyer saying we're getting sued. So this in itself, absolutely awesome.
Well, let me go back to this right here. This company here does that exact thing that we're talking about, and guess what? They got sued by Edmunds.com, which is the largest auto review website in the United States. Edmunds.com found out that this site was facilitating people creating fake accounts. They got sued, man, and now the domain forwards to another service that does the exact same thing. So if you try to go to glowingreviews.co, you're going to end up at LBL Robot. So, and then now they're going to end up getting in trouble. So this was all last year. So yeah, this is not anything to be playing around with, guys. Let me just get back to where we were. But this is how I get clients, because I show them that you don't want to mess around. You just don't want to mess around. Okay, so the last one was Manta says you may not use Manta to submit content or engage in any conduct that impersonates others to post favorable comments to your profile or business. Okay? So
Russ, sorry. the other day, well, it's a while ago, apparently I posted a video review or said something in a video, and of course I don't remember this, but it was basically it's along the same lines, thou shalt not mess around, and someone responded back, and I don't know if he was quoting me or, sort of changing the words ever so slightly, but thou shalt not fuck around. And I was just thinking when you just said, this is how I get clients. Well, that's actually a really nice angle. Thou shalt not mess, or whatever word you want to use, around. And that's certain to get good attention. It's like, okay, what?
Yep.
What are they on about?
Yep. Okay, so let's show you. You got to have a system, guys, okay? You have to have a process or a system for your business, and that's what you're going to learn here. I'm going to show you the very simple system that I use on Facebook. So let's take a look at the 4 components of my sales system, and then I'll take you live, and I'm going to show you exactly each section live. So there'll be a part of this presentation webinar today is not going to actually be on the slideshow, because I'm actually take you on Facebook and show you. All right, so let's see, what's my next slide? Okay. The breakdown, simple Facebook lead system. Okay, very simple and highly targeted landing page to capture leads, the Facebook fan page, the PowerPoint presentation, and then I use a really simple screen sharing application that's free. These are the elements that make up the lead funnel, which allows me to make contact with those roofing contractors who show interest in their online reputation. So let's actually take you now to the fan page. So I'm going to see, I think I can do this way. I'll just leave the slideshow up behind it. Okay, do you guys see the screen? See the Facebook page? Right, can you see the Facebook page?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so here's the Facebook page. Okay, it's basically roofingreputation.com. That is my lead generation site, and I'm going to show that to you next. Okay, so because this is where it starts. This is where the top of the sales funnel is. Okay, so I created a fan page, and I'm using my fan page as Roofing Reputation. Okay, so you don't want to use it as yourself. You want to use it as your brand. Okay. And you just go on, and the first thing that I do is, let me just come here and show you the next slide. Okay, so you saw the fan page. I'm going to show you. I want you to make notes of this next slide, and then I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Okay, so how do I get my fans? Well, it's not anything new. It's just simple. So here's the process. The first thing I do is, of course, I want to make sure I'm using my Facebook, the fan page as the fan page, not as my personal. I search Facebook for pages or businesses in my niche. In this case, it's roofing. When I find the pages or businesses, I like the pages as my fan page. Okay, so first thing you do is start using your fan page as the fan page user. Then you search for the businesses, you like their pages. Okay, that's the first thing you gotta do. And the reason why you want to like them is because when they post something, then it'll show up in your newsfeed because you have to engage. Okay. Then what I do is I start commenting on the stuff that they post, or I find something to comment on their fan page. I also like their posts, and sometimes I even share their posts on my fan page. Okay. And I also do some small advertising if I just don't have time in a particular week to find new companies. So let's go back.
Actually, Russ, keep this up for a second.
Okay.
Because there is something really, really important here.
Oh,
when I got started, I was gonna. The first question was, okay, how do I get traffic? And then someone, I heard from someone. I don't know who it was. They said, well, basically back then we didn't have Facebook. It was like go on forums, and basically the process you've outlined here is engage with them. Okay, that's the high level. You engage with them. And back then it was like, okay, engage with people on forums. So I did, and initially I got it all wrong. I went in this as almost from a spammy perspective. I went in there, look, I'll just create some posts in order to so I can pretend I'm really interested, and then I'll have all the interaction, and then it's okay for me to post, and quickly figure out actually that's total shit. Because
That's
really,
backwards.
yes, exactly. Your job is to truly engage and figure out what it is people are really struggling with. And I very, very, very quickly went from, oh, look, this spammy crap that doesn't work, and let me really engage. And initially it feels like, oh man, I'm going to invest all this time just to chat to people. And as counterintuitive as it may appear, that is the right thing to do. Actually, the more you engage with the true interest of figuring out, why are you here? Let's figure out why you here. Why what is you want? That's
why you want to use the post 80% informational, 20% promotional rule of thumb. Because you don't want to just be spamming your links and always doing, hey, call to action, buy my shit. They don't want to hear that. Okay, so it's time, like I said, it's time to see everything. So here's the page. So what do I do, right? I make sure I'm using Facebook as my fan page, and I search for, let's say, Orlando Roofing. Okay, now you're going to get some instant results, but what you want to do is you want to come down here and search more, right? And then you want to search for pages, okay, or places, okay? So you can see here that I've already done some searching in Orlando, but now there's new pages. So what do? I like. This is Orlando Roofing Company. They have 277 likes. Here's another one. RoofQuest Orlando. Like them. Okay. Let's see here. W West Roofing. Like them. Like Master Roofing. I want to like City Roofing and Remodeling. I want to like Keeping You Dry Roofing. Then I can go down and look at more results. Okay, let's like Steppy Roofing Inc. This is what I do, guys. This is all you got to do. This is so easy. Okay?
A quick question, Ross. Roofing companies in the U.S., is that typically business owner and maybe a couple of hired guns who help do the roofing, or is it proper structured big business companies with lots and lots of employees? And
I would say most are the small.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then you can come over here to pages too, okay, and look for pages, Orlando Roofing Contractors, Orlando Shingle Roof. Some of these you got to really kind of take a second look at. If they don't really have an address, they're probably just like not a real company. I try to look for the ones that have addresses. See, I already like them.
Larry is asking, how many roofers in one city do you want to represent?
Well, for reputation management, you can represent as many as you want because it's not SEO.
Okay.
See, you have an ethical thing with SEO, right? How can you charge 2 roofers to get, the ultimate goal is to get your client on #1, right?
Yeah.
So how can you ethically charge a roofer 2 roofers for the same keyword in the same city?
Yeah, exactly.
But for reputation management, you can. Okay, so because how successful they are depends on 2 things: how they leverage the reputation management system that you're going to set them up on, and how well they actually run their business. Okay, so this is how I find. Okay, so you just got to do some searching. Orlando Roofing. You can come in here. You could do. Let's see. Portland Roofing. If I can spell it right. Portland Roofing. Okay, then I always go down to here, to the bottom, and look at pages.
Which Portland comes to mind when you talk about Portland? Is it Oregon or is it Maine? Which is like the Portland in the U.S.? Oregon, okay.
Oregon, yep. So I think we already did Portland because we've got quite a few liked pages already here. Liked. Then you just search down here, and you just build this slowly. You know, I just build it slowly. Let's look at places. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, you search. Oh, here's one here. Select them. Let's like. Let's see. Let's like this one. Let's like this one.
That's okay. So we got we go through there, and the ones with addresses who look like real businesses we go and like.
Yep. All right, so then what do I do next? Well, the next thing I do is I go look at my news feed. Okay, because now all the pages that I like, I'm going to get status updates in my news feed. All right, so here's a great one, proudly sharing. This looks like they are doing a charitable organization. So this is not only one that I would like, I would also share this on my fan page. Okay. Okay, and I would just, whatever, give them a compliment and share that. Okay. Okay, so I'll come down here, maybe I'll comment on it. Now you can see that it says roofing reputation. So now they'll see that. See how slick I'm being? Right? They'll see that, ooh, who's this roofing reputation that liked our post? Oh, they shared our post. Ooh, that's interesting. Right? Ooh, so here's another one. Since I know about roofing, I might say something like,
hey Russ, just as a quick side note, so in general you have to, there's the 80-20 rule. You have to prioritize. You have to figure out where do you get the most leverage. Now, initially you were looking for companies that have an address, but some of them I noticed they have they have 3 likes or 17 likes, and others have hundreds of likes. Now the question is, are you more likely to comment on and like and share posts by people who are actually active on Facebook? Because the other ones,
I can only comment on people that are active on Facebook.
Yeah, but if they once a year they put a thing in, is there any point? No.
There's no point.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to try to find something. I want to make them look like rock stars. So
yeah. Okay, cool.
Let's see. Awesome. I was really looking forward to working with you. Okay, so I just like that one. How we get it, large townhomes. I'll make like that one. I really try to find stuff that I can comment on or share. After attending college, causing trouble elsewhere, just joined the company. Is that a dunce cap or a party hat? So I might go like.
He's turned 40, so we can, that's always a good one.
Dunce cap or party hat? Okay. So I'll comment on that. And that's what you do. You just got to go through the news feed and find stuff to comment on. Okay, now I can comment something on that, but I'm not going to. All right, so, and also some good stuff, laying roofing tiles. You're doing it wrong. Okay, so I love that, right? That's funny. So I'm going to share that because you always want to do. That's good stuff. Dog is in control on the job site. Okay, so that's all you got to do. That's how you get engagement going. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. Okay, we have 936 fans. These are all roofers. Okay, these are all roofing companies that are our fans here. So we have highly targeted fans. Okay, so I just posted about this, right? So let's see here. All right, so I just commented on this was the first thing I commented on, right, guys? So we already got 18 people that saw this. Okay, that quickly. 18 roofers saw that. Just a couple days ago, I posted this about a roofing scam. Okay, now look, we have 936 fans. My engagement for this, without paying to boost the post, was 258 people saw that. That is 30% of my fans actually saw that post. That's pretty high. Okay, so you can see my engagement, right? So I shared Stead Wilson's A+ Roofings. They posted a review. So I shared that. 110 people saw that. I hate those pop-ups. This particular roofing company, PCS Residential, they do Feed My Starving Children charity. I always share. Whenever you see a potential client that's involved in a non-profit charitable organization, share that on your Facebook timeline. Make that a big, because it is a big deal for businesses to give back to communities. Okay, so this is awesome, right?
Russ, okay, I need to interrupt you one more time. So the first time I nearly fell off my chair with excitement was when you pointed out in very simple terms that most of the reputation management done out there is illegal. And that in itself got me so excited. about this call today. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but just this very simple process right here, the one you've just shown here, does anyone else get really excited about that? Come on, give me some feedback here.
No.
No,
I'd like to know what.
No, you're not excited? I am so excited because that is, when you look at pretty much all the Facebook pages out there, like, here's my shit, here's my shit, here's my shit, here's my shit, and you've just shown live on this call a really, really, really simple process with, boom, look, this is how you truly engage on Facebook. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, here's an article that I actually posted on the fan site, or on the lead site, which is a blog. I'm going to show you the lead site next, guys. Stay with me. Look at this. 402 people saw that, and they clicked that and went over to the actual website. Okay, here is the roofing company that I had showed you in this slide. Of course, I posted about that. 146 people saw that. So now you're going, okay, so this is how you do the fan page. This is how I do the fan page. So let me show you next where I send them. So let me bring up the other one.
Oh, by the way, can I, whilst you're looking at the fan page, I'll give everyone who's thinking of doing this a little tip. You will have seen the pop-up that says, boost this post for only $30. Don't do it, okay? Don't boost the post with that boost the post button, because when you think about it, they're giving you for $30 you can reach whatever 5,000 people. Whatever the number is, it depends. If you actually go into the ad editor, get Chrome, go into the Power Editor, and do it by hand, you'll pay a tenth of this for the exactly same thing, but you pay far less, and you can do
well, you can choose. Well, you can choose as low as $5, but yeah, but it gives you the reach.
Exactly. For $5, you reach 2,500 people. But if you go into the Power Editor and to do it by hand, actually go and promote that particular post as roofing a reputation, you'll pay a fraction of that. Because really, what you're doing here with boost this post is it's not CPC, it's CPM. So 2,500 people, that is 2.5 lots of whatever you're paying in normally, and normally you pay whatever a fraction of $1 for 1,000 views. So if you do this, you might as well go large, reach a big audience, and do it through the Power Editor. It'll save you a lot of money, and you'll reach more people. Anyway, so let's go to the.
Okay, so this is the lead capture site. All right, this is just a simple WordPress theme.
Actually, Ross, one more question. Larry wants to know: do you post on Facebook apart from sharing? And the answer is yes, of course. You posted that particular post there about the scam, etc. So the answer is yes.
I post news, and sometimes I post funny stuff, and questions and polls. Just depends on what I feel like doing. Okay, so on the fan page, obviously there's a link back to Roofing Reputation. Okay, and I may make a post about, hey, have you checked your online reputation recently? Go to our site and fill out our form, and I'll call you. Okay, so they come here, they can lead capture. It's all about lead capture, right? So they get a little video, says it's all about roofing reputation, a little spiel bullet point list about, online reputation, some reviews, okay, and down below are posts I may have made. These will be posts that I actually made on Facebook. Maybe I excerpt the first paragraph and then I point them back to come here to read it, right? That's how I get them to the site. Okay, you see?
Yeah.
But it's okay. So so the call to action is to get them to come down here and look. There's nothing on this site really. There's just on one other page, reputation risks. Right? The do's and don'ts, that's all I give them, really, right? So the goal is to get them to fill out their name and email and address, or to contact me through here. Because what I want to do, man, is I want to call them up on the phone. That's the first thing I want to do. I want to say, hey, because we have something in common now. We kind of met over Facebook, right? They're a fan. They're going to know that it's Russ from, when I say, hey, it's Russ from Roofing Reputation on Facebook, they instantly know it's not a cold call anymore. They instantly know where they heard about us, heard about me, right? So I get them on the phone and I say, hey, do you have time for me to show you this? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, but if they do, then I start a screen sharing program with them. Okay, so you're probably wondering, okay, well, Russ, what do you show them? All right, well, once I get the screen share set up, let's see here, I actually have a PowerPoint slide that I use. Let me make sure I got it right. Okay, now I'm not going to show you the actual like screen type view. This is just the PowerPoint slide. Once I get them on a screen share, I use a service called join.me. I don't want to get out of order here, but I'm going to give you a link. Okay. If you go to join.me, you can set up a free screen share session. So you just tell them, go to join.me, and you'll get a little code. You tell them, enter the code. So they enter the code, and next thing you know, they see your screen. So I give them, this is a six slide presentation, but I'm actually going to be expanding this. But so this is the presentation that I show them after I show them the review portal. So this is the review portal. Now I want you to pay attention real close here. Okay, the review portal is branded to look exactly like the same theme as the client's website. You see that? We can get them 100% brandable portal without having to sacrifice their brand. Okay, why do we do it this way? Because it gives them it gives my client a sense of ownership, right?
So you do this before you set up the demo?
Well, this is what I give the demo. I give them the demo showing Roofing Reputation. I show them in the screen share. I take them to roofingreputation.com,
yeah,
and then I show them. I say, okay, well, we're going to imagine that this is, your company's roofing site, Bob. Okay, bobsroofing.com. Let's just imagine that this is your site.
Okay, but if you wanted to, you could set this up to have Bob's picture up there, and so when you do the demo, it's like, oh wow, that's me. You could if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, you could set up something like that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. It would take a little bit of finagling because you're going to have to steal images from the site, but most of them kind of get this. They get it. They say, okay, well, I'm going to imagine that this is my, your roofing site. Okay. So they're like, well, what are you going to show me? So I'm going to show you. We're going to set up your review portal on a subdomain. Now I'm showing this to you guys in preview mode. Okay. This is what I show them. Okay. You see it's on the subdomain there, demo.roofingreputation.com. So in the finished product, it would be reviews.bobroofing.com or reviews.dallasbestroofing.com. Okay. But I'm in the preview mode just because I'm going to show you both sides of what happens. So, Bob, what you do is you drive your customers here instead of, whenever you collect the final check on the roof, you just ask them to go leave a review. You have no idea where they go. This is what addresses the problem, guys. This is the system that addresses the problem. It's 100% compliant with the law, and it's 100% white hat, and it goes on your client's domain. So they get the sense of possession of it. It's not like it's on somebody else's site. It's on their site. So the customer lands here, and you can see that we've built this so that it's really like a squeeze page. There's no outbound. Oops. Sorry, guys. Wrong. There's no outbound links anywhere. Okay. There's a video here, right? And all we want them to do is listen to the video. It's 30 seconds. And leave their review, or begin by leaving a star review to begin the process. So what does every business owner most afraid of, Veit, when it comes to their reviews?
The 1 star.
Right, and they're afraid that it's going to go on Yelp, or they're afraid that it's going to go on Google. That's what they're all afraid of. So
Yeah,
we
I tell
give the
you a little insight here. I had, well, we started working with a local printing company. And the first thing I said, look, the first thing I asked them, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve here? And they said, well, if we survive for the next 10 years, that would be cool. And they're like third generation, his grandfather set up this thing in 1800 something. Well, not quite, but
yeah.
a long time ago. So, okay, cool. I said, well, let's talk about what you're doing and what you've done in the past and what we can focus on really, sort of what's the core competency where we do we make the most money. So what I suggest is we do a survey of your customers. We just go and ask them, those who are current customers, why they buy and what else they might want to have and what other stuff they maybe get from other people because they're not so happy with what you're getting from here or from you. And then we'll also talk to ex-customers and simply ask them why they stopped buying from us. And they went, yeah, cool, we'll do that. And suddenly some major foot dragging started. Oh my goodness. It took, I kid you not, several months before they finally came back to me and said, we are terribly sorry and we wasted your time really with all of this thing. But we don't really want to know what people think about us because we're so afraid of hearing that people are unhappy with what they're getting from us.
Well, then they don't really want to improve their business.
The pain of hearing negative reviews or negative news was bigger than the desire to improve their business. Yes, absolutely. Right. So just to highlight, when you said, what's the one thing most business owners are afraid of? It's the 1 star or the 2 stars, but some are so incredibly afraid of it, they're almost paralyzed. They'd rather not hear this. They'd rather stick their heads in the sand than hear about it.
And that's right. And this system helps solve that fear and solve that problem that they don't have any control over once. They don't have anywhere to send their customers where they're in control.
Exactly.
Right? They only can send them, currently all they do is say, hey, go leave us a review. They have no idea where that customer is even going to go to leave the review. This gives them more control. So the customer lands on their portal, and let's say they don't have a very good experience. So they click on star 1. Okay, they get another video. Okay, this whole space is customizable. Right here, you can add, please leave your comments in the box below, and we'll get back to you right away. They get another video. So they leave the review. You guys are terrible. And I'll never use you again. Right?
Ross, I quickly need to run out and get some tea, all right? You just keep going.
Then they just put their name in here, and they submit their email, whatever, .com. Okay, and then they submit it. So what happens, now, once they submit it is you can give them an offer on the next page, and this is all customizable too, guys. I meant to put a video in here, I forgot. So the magic of what happens here is as soon as they submitted their review, okay, oops, I got to log back in. That's why. Hold on. I stayed in too long, so it logged me out. Give me a second here, guys. I'll get logged back in. Okay, so yeah, we are. Okay, so as soon as they click this submit button here, okay, the review they left in here, their name and their email gets sent to my client's email address instantly. So my client knows as soon as somebody leaves a bad review, because why? Timing is so important for maintaining a good reputation online that it's just crazy, because if a customer doesn't have a place to, usually the bad reviews that people leave online are due to the fact that they don't get, there's no way for them to really get resolution directly with the business. So as soon as they put in their information here and they type in their name and their email address and hit submit, the business owner gets the email with everything in it, and the business owner can get a text message too, so that wherever the business owner is, he's going to know instantly. He's going to know instantly when there's a negative review. Okay, so what does that accomplish? That solves the problem and the fear of negative reviews going online. So all the business owner has to do is tell all his customers to go to his review portal. It's his review portal. It's not Yelp. It's not Google. It's not somewhere out there. It's on his domain. That's where you want your clients. That's where you want your traffic, your customers, is on your site. So you want them on reviews.bobsroofing.com or reviews.dallasduiattorneys.com, whatever your client's domain name is. That's where you want to put their portal, because it gives them a sense of possession. It gives them a sense of ownership. It gives them something they can call their own, and they can be proud to send their customers there to go through the review process. So now you're probably asking, okay, that's great. So what happens if they have a positive review? So if they have a positive review,
Russ, just to finish off the negative one, it's my personal experience that when you foul up, well, unless you are a rubbish business, but in general, stuff happens. Sometimes you mess up, and that's just the way it is. But if you immediately get back to your client and say, look, I'm shocked to hear this, and we messed up here, not using excuses, just saying we're so sorry it happened to you. In most cases, you can totally fix this, and not only fix it, but actually turn it into a positive experience. Most people, most customers, don't walk around life thinking, everyone else is an asshole and they're trying to rip me off. Most people will, they will be angry, but if someone takes them seriously and deals with it and, makes them feel special about this whole thing and actually does everything they can to fix the situation, they often turn into your biggest fans. So
yeah, but what you do after you fix it is you put them back through the review process.
Exactly,
So,
and then they go, wow, they really made an effort.
Yeah, then they come back here and they post a 5-star review or 4-star review. So let's see what happens. So let's say they have a great 5-star review. So they get another video that says, hey, thank you for being our customer. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate that you took the time to go through the review process. Below, you'll see the links to some of our third-party profiles. Just go there and leave a review. You can connect with your Facebook account. So they don't have to create an extra account. So it's just a few clicks to get them to go leave an actual review. And then you can say, once you come back, we'll give you a free coupon for blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay, so they click on, let's say they click on the super page profile. Boom, and so they go to super pages. Okay, so what you would do here is, let's see, Denver roofers. Let's just find one. Normally what I would do is when I have an appointment set up, let's say I had an appointment set up with a Denver, let's see, let me make sure I don't get actually anybody's paid ads. Okay, let's say that the guy that contacted me was Wilson Brothers. So what I do beforehand, before the demonstration, is I go and find their profiles. And then I get this link right here. Okay, so what I would do is copy this link up here, and that would be where I link this to. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody with that?
Nope, makes sense.
Okay, so when I click on that, so that when I'm giving the demonstration, the prospect's actual review page comes up here. So we are taking the customer straight from the review portal straight to the actual review page where they can click their star, put in here, this company rocks. I had a problem, but man, they addressed it within 24 hours, and I couldn't be happier. Yay! Right?
Russ, Vito wants to know, are they typing the review in twice?
Nope. Not on a positive review. Not on any review. They only type it in once. On the negative review, okay, let me show you. On the negative review, they only type it in here, which gets sent to the client's email. Okay?
Yeah.
If they have a positive review, they just click on the link. Okay? They get taken to the review page, and they only type it in once.
Cool.
Okay, and then they submit it. Okay, and when the prospect sees that, they love that. They're like, oh my God, I can have this? I'm like, yeah, this is how we do it. So, and you notice right here that sign in with Facebook. We want to facilitate it being easy. And inside the membership area, you'll get a list of all the Facebook sites that, all the sites here that use Facebook. So when I show that to them, and they see how easy it is for their customers to go and actually leave and go through the review process, because it's really just enter the URL. It's one click, type in your review, 2 clicks. 2 clicks to leave a negative review. Okay? So,
Russ, Larry still isn't quite clear. So the question is, so first they pick the number of stars, then branch to good and bad process. Exactly.
Yeah.
They pick the number of stars, and you can set that up. You can show that in a second. They basically going to predetermine how many stars lead to tell us what went wrong, and we'll get back to you, or straight to, hey, that's super cool, please leave some positive feedback on these sites.
Right. So when you set up their portal, you determine how many stars is a negative review, how many stars is a positive review. Okay, so you might only have a 1 and 2 star as a negative review. I believe on this portal I have 1, 2, and 3 set as a negative review. So yeah, this is the negative review. So if I click on 1, 2, or 3 stars, it goes to here. If I click on 4 stars, it goes to here. Again, if I click 5 stars, it goes to here. Okay. This is why I'm using the preview mode, because on their actual portal, once they click a star, they disable. We don't want them to go back through, especially if they've left a bad review. We don't want them coming back and fiddling around and figuring out that they can go leave that bad review by clicking star 5. So we just that's why I'm showing this to you. And when you build your portals, you need to use the preview link. So, here's another thing I forgot to show you guys. Okay, when you're doing a demonstration with your prospect, you want to have them on their mobile phone, right? So we have a feature called a demo mode. So what you do here is you click demo mode, and you enter their phone number, their SMS number, okay? And then you click the start demo mode, and then it takes you back to here, okay? Once you're back here, then here's what you do, right? So once you've entered their cell phone number, this is so slick. Once you enter their cell phone number and enter the demo mode, once you come over here and click on the 5-star review, enter in your review, enter in the name, the email, and submit it. While you're doing the demonstration, they're going to get the text message instantly. Your prospect, the person you're trying to sell this to. That's that. Then, so you're going to wait like 5 seconds and be like, hey, did you just get a text message? Sometimes I can even hear their notification while I'm doing the demonstration, right? Because everybody's phone makes a little jingle noise or whatever, right? I said, that sounds like you just got a text message. Could you check that for me while we're on here? And it says, hey, someone just left a review. Please check your email. Bingo! The light goes off. They're like, oh, wow, I can get SMS notice when somebody uses my portal. Yep, we can set that up for you. So that's when they go crazy. They're like, oh, how much does it cost? Or what do I do next? The buying signals, the buying signals, we talked about that fight, right?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, how long does it take to get this? That's a buying signal, So once I give them the demonstration here, then that's when I show them the slide presentation. Let's see, where's it at here? Let's see. So give me a second, guys. So normally I don't have like all these extra PowerPoints open, obviously, because, all right, so let's see what, okay, so then I go into the slideshow presentation. You know what, maybe I can just show you this slide. Let's see. From the beginning. Maybe that'll show. Okay, so this is the presentation I give them. Now, don't freak out on this, guys, okay? So, Mr. Roofer, this is what you get. You get a custom branded review portal installed on your existing site. You get a review filtering system that catches the negative reviews and sends them straight to your email and goes and makes it easy for your customers to post the positive reviews on your profiles. We will link up to 5 review sites at any one time in your review portal. Okay, we give you unlimited email notifications, and we give you 50 text message notifications a month, and we give you a monthly reputation report to track your progress. You can download, that's a downloadable file in the members area that you can send them, and of course we host it, we maintain it, and we do all the technical support. Okay,
Ross,
then I take them to.
whilst the next page is loading, there's a question from Matthew, and he says, can we leave out the coupon because the law in Germany forbids? Yes, okay, cool.
Yep. Okay, so bonus, and then I give them a bonus. You know, I say, we professionally set up and design your Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages to all have all your branding across the internet. So I throw in a couple little things, right? We make sure that your company is set up on at least 25 of the most important review sites. This is stuff that you guys can outsource for, like, you know, nothing, right? Or you can just do it yourself. Okay. All right. Then we also give them a mobile version and a QR code. Now, that's not something I mentioned to you, but this system is compliant on desktop and mobile. So they get a mobile version of their review portal, and they get a desktop version of their review portal. Okay. The package value is, oh, there's an extra 7 in there, $14.97, basically. $1,500.
Yes.
Yes, we charge $14,977 to set this up. You can pay by credit card. No, $1,400 to set it up. $197 a month fee. We're going to include custom social media design. Okay, that's a $275. We're going to include the directory sites. We give them the retail prices, $225. We give them the mobile version and the QR code, $300. The total value is $4,000 to set up, to get you set up on this, but we're going to set you up for $1,500. Okay. So the roofing special package is the review portal setup. This is if they're paying separately for everything. Okay. Everything's separately broken down. You got to break it down. Then you go to the next slide. And you say monthly fee $197. But we're going to include the social media design. We're going to include the directory setup. We're going to include the mobile version and the QR code for $14.97 setup and $197 a month. Okay. All
right, another question coming in. Can we show our own self-hosted video, or do we have to use your video? On the thank you, or on the different videos that say, you know, thanks for leaving a review, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. Those videos.
Those videos are included in your membership as green screen videos to get you started, but you can have your own made. Some customers even make their own. I just send them the script in an email, and they record them themselves. They send me the video, and I make sure it gets put in their portal.
Okay. Cool.
But the green screen videos are a free bonus that I had professionally made for everybody, and those are available in the members area. Okay, so once I show them the package, then I just shut up, let them ask questions, or if they say, well, what do we need to do next? I say, what's your fax number? I'm going to send you the credit card authorization form and the contract, and that's it. It's a done deal. As soon as I get their money, I build their portal.
You just said something really important there. Look, you started off this whole thing, look, you've been in sales, and I've been in sales too. I sold insurance. You said, and then I shut up. And the shutting up is incredibly hard because you think, oh God, if they're not responding immediately, that means they're not interested. But no. You know, quite often they just have to think it over, and they have to, like, take it all in.
Right, they might have a question, they might be thinking about it, or, you know, they might be thinking about a question to come up with, or so you just give them the price, and I recommend that you sell this for $1,400 to set up and around $197 a month, and don't sell it for anything less, man, because price is the perception of value. Okay?
Well, and their reputation is worth something.
Right. Plus, they get a desktop and mobile version. Okay. So let's get back to the slideshow. So I showed you the Facebook page. So I showed you the site. So where are we at? My mouse is getting. Why does my mouse want to go over here? Hold on a second. I might have to hit escape. Okay, why doesn't my mouse want to leave? There we go. Hold on. PowerPoint is acting all crazy on me. Let me try to close this one and go here. Resume slideshow. Okay. So where are we at? Time to see everything. Where are we at? What is it? Oh, see, that's what I get for opening the other slideshow. Now it's giving me troubles. Hold on a second. Let's see. Alt-Tab, Alt-Tab, Alt-Tab. Okay. Come down here from current slide.
All right, what's he looking? Must a client website be WordPress?
Nope, it can be anything. That's the beauty of putting it on a subdomain. Okay.
Russ, let's quickly talk about, actually, whilst you're looking for that thing, I can quickly talk about this whole subdomain thing. It's not actually installed on their subdomain. It's just a subdomain on their whatever, on their domain, which then redirects to basically your own, well, the actual installation. So you have full control over this. So it's not like they have it on their subdomain and then they go, well, I'll stop paying you. No, it kind of redirects to your installation, so you have full control over this.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let me just store this down.
Has PowerPoint given up on us?
Yeah, I had to close it and then reopen it.
Okay.
Okay, so I showed you everything. So now let's look at the members area. This is the members area. Okay. So here's where you're going to learn how to do all this, right? So this is the members area, and it's quite lovely. I do say so myself because I did all the colors. Okay, so here's what you get, right? Okay, in the bonuses section, you can get it to slide over there. Okay, you get the green screen videos. I give you the video scripts. A portal checklist. So the portal checklist basically gives you everything you need to gather to start making the portal. The images. There's a feature in there that I didn't show you, but you can even have employees on there. So if you're going to have employees, which is a great way to make sure that the customer actually uses the portal and that the employees understand what's going on. Okay, so you have a portal checklist, a client worksheet. We give you the template, review site images. Those were the third-party images that I showed you. Let's see. Here, these images. We give you all these images. They're all the same size, so they're all nice and branded and look uniform. Okay. We give you a reputation management email series that you can rebrand. So once they opt in to your funnel, you need to start sending them some emails. We give you an infographic. We give you a direct mail reputation management sales piece if you want to send out direct mail to get prospects. We give you the PLR report, the review portal service agreement, and you also get membership to the private Review Century Facebook group. Okay, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in here that I'm not showing you because there's just a lot in here that I give you guys. Also, there's a lot of help files that we give you. Okay, and to break that down, we give you there's a file in there on how you can get your client started using the system right away by letting their past customers know about like a press release. Okay, how to use the review portal to get more fans on their fan page. Okay, we also give you the list of review sites that you need to set up that connect with Facebook. Okay, and training for your client on how to use the system. There's a file in there that's, I don't know, it's probably got 50 different news and stats regarding online reviews and reputation. And all those charts that you saw in the presentation today, I'm going to be uploading those to the members area. You'll also get those. A great document that I wrote on how to overcome objections that they might come up with when you're selling this to people. This is 20 years plus years of selling experience in this document right here. Okay, how to present as an introductory offer, which is basically what I showed you today. And then outsourcing resources, like I give you, there's a whole list of places where you can hire people on Fiverr to do the green screen videos, hire people to do some graphics work if you need to do some graphics work, and everything that you pretty much need to build a portal. Plus, we have our own dedicated person that's a member of Review Century who will build your portals for you. And this is something that I can't stress enough, is you need to build, the first thing you need to do is build your own demonstration portal, and you need to make it as professional looking as possible to your SEO site, okay, because that's what you're going to use to introduce to your clients. Okay, perception is reality. So if you don't take the time to do your graphics right, you just kind of slap your portal together, you're going to have a hard time selling it. Okay, so you gotta make it look good. So just real quick, what are my existing users saying? Just wanted to give a big shout out to Russ for help today. That's because my support is awesome. I am very support minded. Okay, I think I spent like an hour or so even with this person on the phone. This person, this is Cheryl Lynn. Adam Dukes. He said that this was, he had introduced the service to some of, let's see, what was it, at a business meeting or a breakfast. He told them $500 to set it up and $197 a month, and they seemed surprised it was so cheap. They also asked about $197, and so basically he said, I need to get out of my internet marketing pricing mindset. In other words, he wasn't charging enough. Okay. Ronnie Tsunami, great guy. He's just, some of these are taken from Facebook, our Facebook group, because you'll see people posting in there. He just sold an account with 3 locations, so that's awesome. So that's 3 portals. Brian Anderson, he's got this working on a 90-location franchise. Dwayne Roberts is another SEO firm. He sold 3 accounts within his first week. I think 2 of them were new clients, and 1 of them was an existing client that he added it on to the client service. So this is great if you already have SEO clients. Then the first thing you need to do is go back and say, hey, I got this system, you need to get set up on it. Right? So it's a great way to retain existing customers, because, man, once they get that first email notification that they got a bad review, they're going to be hooked. Does that make sense? They're not going to never want to stop paying you, because they'll be afraid that as soon as they stop paying you, then any bad review they get is going to go out online. That's not, that's painful. They don't like that. Here's another review that just came from Mark Stafford, a Review Century user, which is in Facebook group. He's been a member for 6 months, and he's been promising me a review for quite a while. I finally told him, I said, dude, are you going to leave your review for me or what? So he's basically said that he's been paying for this for 6 months, and it's the best, and my support team is top-notch. And it's one of the best systems that he has seen online. I mean, obviously, since he's been paying for it for 6 months, people vote with their money. Okay? So what's next is that you can start offering Review Century, which is a white label review system today. I didn't mention that to you, but we set it all up so your client has no idea that it's actually Review Century. It's your reputation management service. You can make up your own name for it. You can put it on your own. You can set up your own demo portal on your own brand, and you offer that unique to your prospects. So you can come up with your own name for it, whatever you want to name it. We don't care. We give you 25 white label 100% compliant review portals that you can resell to small businesses. And what I mean by compliant is that it is compliant with the Federal Trade Commission laws, it's compliant with EU regulatory laws, it's compliant with all the review sites, you're not breaking any rules, you don't have to worry about exposing your clients to any risk. All you have to do is just show it to them. This is all you got to do to sell this system. Just start showing it to businesses who are interested. You're not going to sell everybody you talk to, but you will sell this as long as you take the time to show it to people. And then you can sleep at night because you just gave them a solution that solves their problem, and you don't have to worry about some article getting posted online about fake reviews for your company, your client. Okay? So,
well, Ross, I'm also excited about, for example, if you're offering SEO, you know, one of the earliest decisions I made was I was not going to offer SEO services. I offer SEO consultancy. You know, how does it work? What do you need to do? But I don't offer SEO services because you either do the easy one out and say, well, you know, you can't guarantee anything with SEO, which, you know, is really a cheap way of saying, give me your money and then maybe something will happen. But also, if you're doing any sort of SEO which is, you know, has a hint of black hat in it, even if you're optimizing the website, you might be unlucky and Google just slaps your client's site. And that in itself is basically, you know, sleepless nights guaranteed. Whereas with this thing, well, you know, use it the right way. This is inherently white hat, and, you know, you can't really go wrong with it. So very, very impressed.
That's right. And also, once the beautiful thing about having this as a front-end offer is that now you have an in with them. What happens maybe 3 months down the line? They call you up and they say, "Hey, Veit, man, I really love the review portal. We're looking at redoing our website." Who's the first person they're going to call? They're going to call you.
Well, hopefully me.
Yeah, so now you can charge them what you want for a website instead of trying to compete with everybody else, right? Or if you do SEO, you say, well, now you can charge what you want. You don't have to compete with everybody else because they're coming back to you now and asking you, hey, man, we've been using the review portal for 4 months now. It's been great. We love it. You know, we get the negative reviews in our email. We take care of the customers. They fall in love with us. We get the good reviews. I noticed on your website that you do SEO. Talk to me about that. Well, boom. As soon as they ask you to start asking you about other services that you provide, you better have your prices in order because they'll pay for it. So where to get it? It's just $97 a month. That's for 25 review portals. That's only $3.88 per portal. You're going to charge, you know, you don't want to charge anything less than $1,500 to set these up, so you only got to get one sale to pay for this for more than a year. So I want you to get started now by going to onlinerule.com/rush. If you can put that link in there for the members, for everybody, then go there. You need to sign up today. Okay, and then once you're done signing up, you need to go into your JVZoo account, because that's where we sell it from, and access your product. That's going to take you to to register on the membership site. When you register on the membership site, you're going to get access to the members area, and the first thing you need to do is you need to just go through all the training. Okay, it's very simple. I really break it all out into very different because I didn't want to bore everybody with like a 1 hour long training video, so I broke it all out for you, okay? But really it's just if you can upload an image, create some text, and copy and paste some YouTube code, you can build a portal. But I highly recommend that you get your own portal done by our team that his name is Marion. He's from the UK. He's been doing them for people for over a year in our group. So get your own demonstration portal set up first because you got to have something to start showing people. And this is an unannounced bonus, and I can't guarantee you exactly when we're going to do this, but we're going to start giving everybody, I think it's 2 or 3 default demonstration portals added on to their account.
Nice.
so they don't have to. So the newer members don't have to wait to start selling. Okay.
Cool.
So that's it. So I want to take this time. I know that we've been almost 2 hours on this, and I want to thank everybody that stayed. Almost everybody has stayed. I've only seen 2 people drop, so that's awesome.
I've got a question from Vito.
Question and answer time. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Vito wants to know, how does this compare to Reputation Kahuna?
It doesn't, because it's completely different.
Okay. And in a bit
There's
more
nothing
detail,
like
I
this
don't
on
know
your-
Reputation Kahuna, so just go for it.
Well, the number one thing is, okay, like somebody had asked, does the client need to be WordPress? No, this is not a plugin. I designed this product so that it doesn't matter if they have WordPress, HTML site, Joomla, Mambo, Zombo, Zumbo, Wix, or what, it doesn't matter, because we put it on a subdomain. Okay? So if the client stops paying, you just delete their portal, man, and you just resell the portal slot to a new customer.
So just to reiterate from earlier, that look on the screen now. It says www.onlinerule.com. All right, that www you replace by whatever you want to do it. Review or reviews. Exactly. So that thing is actually not on the same server as, or the same hosting account as onlinerule.com at all. That is somewhere different. So
right. That's going to be in your review, your review dashboard. We're going to show you exactly how to set that up. It's very simple. It's just a couple steps, and you can send the email. We give you a document. You can send the email, or if you don't host the client site, that's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're hosting with you or not. If they're not hosting with you, you just send over the email and ask their hosting provider to set up the review subdomain, and point it to our IP address. And once that's done, it's done. You don't have to upload any files actually to their server. So you just create their portal from your dashboard, and that's what shows up on their site. So it's really sneaky how we do it, because I don't want to provide a service to somebody that they get to keep everything and then not pay, but to get to continue to use it. Does that make sense? It's like these plugins that people sell. If your client cancels and you don't have access to a licensing platform, they get to keep that plugin and continue using it, but they get to stop paying you. And if they change the username and password to the blog, you don't get to log in anymore. You can't delete it. So they get to keep using it without paying you. Not with this service. If they decide they don't want to use it anymore, that's fine. You just go in and delete their portal, and it's all gone.
Alrighty, Simon wants to know, and Simon is based in the UK, what sort of pricing should be used in the UK? Often these prices are US dollar and are unrealistic in the UK. Any suggested UK prices?
I think 800. I know we have one customer, one user in the UK that's charging 800 to set up. 800 euro, I believe.
Pounds, proper money.
Sterling.
Exactly. Proper. Have you ever held a pound in your hand? That is real money. Now, everything else cannot compete.
You'll have to just get a feel for, I wouldn't do it. Let me just put it to you this way. Don't do it too cheap, because, our cultures in the UK and the United States, we're pretty much, price determines value. If you try to go too cheap, they're going to wonder. They're going to wonder. If anything, you can maybe do the monthly a little bit less, but don't negotiate on the setup, because when you're creating custom portals, you're going to have to pay to have those portals set up, and you don't want to be caught doing it yourself all the time. You eventually want to pay someone to do those portals, so you got to leave yourself the profit margin. That's number one. And number two is, the more they pay, the more they're going to use it.
Well, here's the other thing. I'll give you an illustration. When I lived in Oxford, there was a gym, Esporter, a very exclusive private, gym. And I happened to know one of the physios there, but he wasn't really employed by Esporter. He was just, had his little office there, or his physio center inside of Esporter, and how to deal with, whenever he was providing physio services to clients of Esporter. So I'm sure they got a cut in addition to the rent he was paying. And he was charging a cool £160 per hour for physio services.
Mm-hmm.
Now that, for a physio, is unbelievable, because all the other physios in the area were charging £20 an hour. Now, how the hell did he manage that? And it basically was all go in and say, my stuff is worth £160 an hour. And people started paying for it, happily, and recommending other people who went, this guy is worth 160. Okay,
right.
we don't even need to discuss it. So it is a mindset thing, and it is very, very hard, because we are accustomed to comparing what we're doing with other people. And yes, if you look around and look at what everyone else is charging for SEO, or what everyone else is charging for website setup, or rep management, you go, well, they're all charging $30 an hour, so I should be charging $30 an hour. Forget about that. It's artificial. It's only because we're accustomed to it to look at what other people are doing. And you're not doing anyone a favor. And the moment you jack up your prices, you're attracting. It's funny. You're not actively You're not actively attracting the wealthier or more high-end oriented clients. It's a natural filtering process where those who are going, well, you must be mad. Well, they're no longer knocking on your door, but the other ones are going, well.
I'm going to tell you from 25 years of experience, especially in the construction industry, the people that pay more are less headaches as clients. Let me do my job. Don't call me every day and bug me. The people that, beat me up for the best damn price and I was stupid enough to do the deal, they're the ones that were the most picky about the job. They were the ones that were always the most trouble. And they were always the ones that was hard to collection problems, getting my money. I learned a valuable lesson a very long time ago, was get out of the bargain deal type pricing model, because I started to notice a repeat pattern with those customers. They were all headaches. The customers that paid me top dollar, they just let me do my thing. They never bothered me when I got done, and when it was time to pay, they were ready to pay their check. It was delightful doing business with them. So don't charge too little. Don't get in that. Just hold. That's why I said, like, when I do my presentation with my roofing prospects, I give them the price and I shut up.
Exactly.
I either let them ask a question or tell me or tell me, hey, what do I do next? I said, well, give me your fax number and I'll send you the credit card author, or however you want to do it, PayPal or whatever, and we'll get you set up. We'll have your portal set up within 5 days so you can start using it or whatever. Any other questions?
There's one from Larry. What if the client has trouble already? We charge separately to deal with their current mess. Maybe this leads to question, how do we know if we want to accept them as a client? What do we tell a client that their staff must be doing?
Well, Larry, that's a good question, actually. If you get a prospect that's interested, let's say they go to your lead site and they fill out the form, I do a little research before I call them. I always call them on the phone. It's just great to just call them up and say hi. It's so much better than conversing through email. And you don't have to be salesy. You just want to set up the demonstration. But what I do is I do a little research on them. I search their name and find out. If they have a whole crapload of bad reviews, then that doesn't mean they're not necessarily a potential client. You just have to address that with them and see, like, dude, what's going on with your company? Don't be afraid to question them on it. Say, before I start this demonstration, I found a lot of bad reviews about you, and they seem to have the same theme. So, dude, if you can't correct this, and I'll work with you to correct this, but it's going to be hard to change your reputation, even with my system. So just be upfront with them about it.
Exactly. What you find in practice is some are maybe the victim of disgruntled employees who might be out to wreck their reputation. Some just didn't know, and that's something you can fix. You can point them to where it's happening. And some are just shit. And they have negative attitudes. They point outside. They go, it's the economy. It's those bastards clients, and all that kind of stuff. And Or they bury their head in the sand and go, I don't actually want to know. And if you've got someone like that, well, I personally don't want to work with them.
Yeah, well, if they don't want to know, they're not going to be filling out the form in the first place. So because if you're to the point where you're giving them a presentation, they've qualified themselves, right? Because they filled out the form. They're interested in either fixing or doing, something about their online reputation.
Well,
so
the other thing is, if you were to use the Facebook system, which I am still so excited about, the way you just showed it, they're not the ones who are active on Facebook. They're not the ones who interact and share and show, what their employees are doing for charity. Forget it.
You just reminded me of something that I was going to add.
Okay.
Let's just go back real quick. I want to show you how crappy. I'm going to be adding a course that you can give away for free on how to market on Facebook, because these guys, so many of these companies just do not know how to market on Facebook. Okay, look, this guy here, all he's doing is posting, give us a call. Let's go over and look at his page. He's got 148 users. How many of those are probably friends and family? A lot of them are, dude. A lot of them. Okay, let's see here.
That's what I meant earlier. Just basically running any client through what you demonstrated in the live thing earlier, that's enough. You show people how to do that, and you're just, wow. How?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
I've had them ask me, how did you find out about me? I'm like, through Facebook, dude. I can show you. Like sometimes I'll offer them an hour's consultation on Facebook because, I notice that maybe their fan page needs some help. Right? Let's see here.
By the way, this is one of the things I keep telling everyone over and over again. If let's say your core service, your core competency is, let's say, reputation management. There is nothing wrong. That's actually everything is right with impressing the socks off everyone by giving away some really good information on, for example, SEO. Or on Facebook, or wherever you're meeting people, right? You just go, if you're meeting them on Facebook, you say, look, to get the most out of Facebook, here's some tips. The beauty of this is because you are not really a Facebook guy, but you're really more a reputation management guy, you can now truly give without any hidden agenda, without any oh, by the way, there's a sale at the end. You just give, and they go, wow, that was pretty awesome. And then you go, oh.
Yep, look at this guy here, Avco Roofing. He joined in October 2010. This is the extent of his posts on Facebook. And his 25 likes are probably all roofing employees and family and friends.
Exactly.
So he's not marketing correctly on Facebook. I guarantee he's not getting any customers from Facebook.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've got a question from Roger, and we can answer that very quickly. How do we approach prospects from across the world to make the presentation? Well, exactly like we've seen here. It would be my take.
All right, you just use this. You just do a screen share with this. You start the meeting, it's going to install a little app and you'll get a little ID code. You just give them the ID code. You tell them to go to the same site. You say, okay, are you on joinme.com? They say yes. Then you tell them, okay, you see where it says join meeting, enter this number here. They enter it, they click the little button. Next thing they see is your screen. That's how you do it. So it doesn't matter where in the world they are. So you need to use Join Me to do the presentations. It's free.
Very cool.
Okay. So let's see if we can find somebody else here. So most of these guys, this was a problem that I identified when I started marketing on Facebook to my roofers, was most of these guys have no clue how to market on Facebook. They're just posting, call us today for a free inspection. The only people that see that are their roofers and their friends.
And it's not only roofers, is wherever you look. Most people don't get social media. And I think that's why what you gave earlier, that was a gold nugget. It was absolutely beautiful. Engage, and this is how you engage. Thank you very much. Boom.
Yeah, you're welcome. No
Alrighty.
problem.
Russ,
Yes.
it's been 2 hours, and I'm actually supposed to be at a barbecue as of an hour ago. So
okay. No problem.
Let's have a couple last questions, and then I really need to run, because unfortunately I think I need to press the stop recording button on this end. So, Larry, what work or follow-up is needed each month? Or is it mostly 197 to continue using the system after the setup?
You have to gauge that. I try to follow up at least once a month. I send them. I didn't really show you the background, the dashboard area for creating a review portal, but you can download we keep the data in a Excel file. You can send that to them every month so they can see the number of reviews, they can see the comments, they can data mine that. There's so much more to this than just leaving the reviews. This is the human resources aspect of it too. Your client can look at bad reviews over a period of, let's say, 6 months, and he can identify trends in that and say, hey, we're missing the ball here, so we can make adjustments. But once a month, once every other month, you want to make your presence known, send them tips. That's what I do, is I send them tips and I send them news, so they're at the top of my mind. So they get a little bit extra value out of the monthly fee.
Here's a little comment from Larry. 25 times 197 per month equals 5K a month. Well, that's true.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. So for 97 a month, guys, it's really a steal. It's $3.88 per portal. All you got to do is just get your system set up. You can use the system I showed you, or you can use your own system. But I figured, why not show you how I make money with it? You could just duplicate it and go into whatever niche you want, right? All you got to do is just commit. Forget about all the other distractions that you get. Just commit to showing this system to 10 to 20 businesses your first 30 days. You cannot not sell one. Okay? Yeah, you're going to get rejected. Don't worry about it. Don't take it personally. Don't think you're doing anything wrong. Just trudge on to the next prospect. Trudge on to the next prospect. That's all you got to do.
I'll give you a little tip. If you keep it generic and don't go, you're going roofers because that's what you do. That's cool. But if you keep it generic and don't want to tackle one particular niche, go and find the local Lions Club, or find any of these socially minded clubs of basically business owners, and you approach them and say, look, I've got a little tip for you. How about you basically put an Amazon link on your website, and then when it's Christmas shopping time, or whatever the festivities are coming up, you encourage your members to just purchase through that link, and that'll make you a small commission, 4%, 5%, depending how much they buy. And that way, you don't need to go around and ask for donations, and you're still making, with enough members, making good money. It's a really nice tip for them, because they can now reach out to their members and do something for charity, because they're collecting money for charity, and that way you're in.
Or you can do a free webinar on reputation management. Don't pitch them anything, and then at the end of the webinar, to their business members, and then at the end of the webinar, say, if you have any questions about reputation management, I'll give you free advice. Email me here. And then when they email you with questions, that's when you can pitch them.
Exactly. Yeah. So it really isn't rocket science. And the tip with the Lions Club is, I've just basically scored the local Lions Club today.
There you go. There you go. All right, so I know that you have to get off, and if there isn't any more questions you want to take the time for me to answer, we'll let everybody go. I want to thank everybody who's signed up already. We are going to put a replay up so anybody that still wants to think about it or whatever, and once I get the replay up, then I'll get it all produced for you, and you can resend to everybody and let them know that the replays.
I absolutely will. Honestly, I don't do many webinars because most of the stuff out there is shit. And I remember, okay, I'm not going to name names because there's no point to it, but I generally ask beforehand, hey, can we talk on Skype? I want to see a replay of what you're doing, etc., etc. And most of it is just like, oh my goodness, it's fluff, there's no content, and then there's just a pitch at the end. You might as well go straight into the pitch and not waste everybody's time. So you are one of a very few, of a handful of people who have even agreed to do a webinar. And anyone on my list, just go through the past emails and you'll see it's like a handful at most per year. That's it. And it is because you're providing true value. And although we talked beforehand, when I saw those things you showed us today, I am excited that I'm grateful that we did it today. That the stuff you shared was absolutely superb, completely turns around everything I knew about reputation management, especially with the legal aspect. I'd never considered that. And just the way you actually live did that Facebook thing and showing how to engage with an audience, it's just magical. So I am grateful.
Thank you.
We did this today. It was really, really good. And
I'm grateful.
I'm going to push this hard to get everyone to go through it. Even if they don't want to sign up, that's fine. But those two things are so important to get. It's a no-brainer. You have to watch that video or the replay. So there you go.
All right. Okay, everybody, have a great weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for being with us.
Thanks again. And when you get the recording process, just send it to me.
Yeah, I will done. We'll do that.
All right.
All righty.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.